The President, Muhammadu Buhari, has been commended for signing the Executive Order 07. The main objective of the scheme is to accelerate road infrastructure development for balanced economic growth in Nigeria by granting approval to the private sector entities to construct and refurbish eligible roads across the country in exchange for tax credit, which could then be applied against company income tax payable. This should be good news to a lot of communities, two of which would be featured on this episode of Special Report. Residents in Abaranje and Ofada say they have suffered the consequences of bad road and lack of essential infrastructure. You're welcome. I'm Ini John Mekwa. Beginning off Old Ikotun Garage, spanning for over 2 kilometers to end at Okerube, where Abaranje Ikotun bus terminal is located. Abaranje Road is a major one in Igondo Ikotun Local Council Development Area. However, plying the road has been a nightmare for some time now. Apart from being the connection to the ever-busy Ikotun terminal and markets, the stretch has formed a community in the area, with some residents claiming indigenship. Retail shops, streets and markets serve the hundreds of residents who call Abaranje home. Transportation is a thriving business in the community, conveying the residents to and from their places of work, most of which are located outside the area, but therein lies their most obvious need.
3 communities, you understand, interlinked, you know, by that Ikoto road there. So for the past 2 years, these other communities, the other 2 communities, Igondo and Ijegu, have been attended to. Ijegu Road was recently fixed by the state government, properly done, you know, and Igondo as well. So we were expecting that by the time they were done, they were going to come to Abaranje to fix Abaranje. So when they finished that project there, they went to Ikotu to do a first lift on that roundabout. That you know, Ikotu has a new roundabout now with street traffic light and every other thing. But when they were done, amazingly and surprisingly, the contractors took away their materials, and ever since then till now, nothing has been done to this road. People here are suffering, the transporters here are suffering, and nobody is doing anything. The National Union people keep on ripping off the transporters on this road. Each Kekema road that passes here, you are seeing, there are more than 500 that moves here. Each pays up to 2,000 naira every day to this transport union, including the buses. They collect the money, they will collect 1,500 naira for their tickets. Then they go about, they will collect in the morning, they collect in the afternoon, they collect in the evening. And then these people also obtain riders card, yearly riders card that costs 3,600 naira from the state government. So tell me if the state government, by virtue of this, are not making enough revenue to attend to the people living in this area. That's what we are saying. People here are not demanding for something different from other than fixed road. This is a vibrant community. This place has over going to 10 petrol stations now, coming from that Oroko down there to Okerube. Some are still under construction. If you get to that last bus, you will see it. And then the people, most prominent people, those who can afford it, are moving out of this place because of the bad road. Right now, my vehicle is at the Panebita. We could actually go there. It's being worked on right now. So these are the part of the problems we're actually facing. I've had to pay the Panebita 5,000 naira. It's there. It's still under construction. We could go there and you see it. That's what we are saying. Shock absorbers, tires and everything. But then the problem is not just that. This same national union are the ones collecting, ripping off the people, and nothing is being done. They are not doing anything. The state government is not doing anything. The local government is not doing anything. And you see them, they will come, all these shops, they will come and collect their shop permits and all what have you. Look at any building that you see under construction here, you will see where they will cross stuff and say come and obtain permits and all what have you. So I mean, what? Please, the state government should, as a matter of urgency, come and fix Abaranje Road. That's what we are saying, please.
Mr. Idowu says he's been a resident here for over 3 decades and has not seen it this bad.
Anytime we complain, the chairman always ignores us. And he has a house at that custom area, and he doesn't bother about this place. And I don't know our offense. I have a car. I cannot go out with my car. What life of that? After struggling for my life, everything, to go out now is difficult. The journey from here to Ikotun is just about 3 minutes. If the road is okay. But now it took us almost about 30 minutes, which is very unfortunate.
Special reports crew visited the office of the chairperson of Igondo Ikotun LCDA after speaking with her on the phone. But up until the production of this program, she has not responded. Igondo Ikotun LCDA is part of Alimosho local government area, which is the largest local government area in Lagos, with over 1 million inhabitants, according to the official 2016 census. Part of the population live here, and they say social ills mar what would have otherwise been a great community. Some of the residents tell us that attempting to meet up with early morning appointments from here could be dangerous.
Security situation is everybody's business. But what really happened is, mind you, we are very far away to the police post, to police station. This area, I think we need to have what they call police post. Because the crime here, nobody can cry out. I have been affected, I've been a victim, I've been robbed. On my way coming from, that was on the 26th of December, I was with my wife. These Okada people just brushed me down. Before I know something, they grabbed me up. But nothing was stolen. But the people there is a lot of people riding, all these boys called 1 million, you are talking about 1 million boys. Then we have some people called, they call themselves one name again, that they are here. And when you look at the type of people riding Okada here or Mara here, you know that it doesn't worth it. Some Okada doesn't have plate number. Some Mara doesn't have plate number. But we don't blame them. Before you cry here from here to police station, nothing is done.
So where is the closest police station?
It's Ikotun. So if they can give us a police post here, I think it's better. During this COVID time, I live in Monaco Estate there. We have to do vigilante for ourselves. All the landlords will stay at our gate till around 2 before I go and sleep. You know, we have so many things here that causes all these nuisances. There are so many bridges that leaks express here. We have one here, we have one there. So if they commit anything, they can easily move out. They can easily move out. But the bottom line is, if the government can help us to have a police post, it will be a check-up. Anything happen here, before you get to the police station, at the nearest police station is Ikotun. And I must be frank with you, Ikotun too is overstressed.
Abaranje, Okerube Road. So that is the...
As a mother, Bukola Komolafe is worried about the education channels available in the area, with just one public primary school and no public secondary school.
The education system here is, let me say, it's privatized. So most of the schools we have in this area are private schools. You can find close to 2-3 primary private school on each of the streets here. So we have a lot of them here, over 20 private schools here, both secondary and primary. But the only public primary school we have here is this. We have another one close to the end of the road here, that is around the Islamic bus stop. But the only one we have here is this, and it's a public primary school. If I can tell you 1 or 2 expensive schools we have in the whole of Abaranje Okerube Road, there are about 2 or 3 of them. So the rest of them are affordable to someone who is getting a daily income and who can also put food on his table. But I can also tell you that most people living in this area, they are low-income earners. So some of them, it's not all of them that has the money to send their children to private school. Let me be sincere. During times when private schools send children out for school fees, you can find most children at home in this area, because I stay around here and I can tell you that most of their children are also staying at home. So if it's affordable, of course, you'll not find someone's child at home when the others are in school. So it's not affordable to everyone living around, but probably to some people, probably 60% of the people living here, but 40% too is not, because I can tell you the crowd in this school, you need to come and see when they just come when they close, after the closing time every day, you need to see the crowd here and even on the road. So when you see the crowd, then you can imagine why you have this kind of crowd here when we have the number of schools I told you we have on this road.
This inadequate accessibility to schools may be responsible for the seeming high rate of young men seen around with no jobs and any form of engagement, as well as teenage mothers. Girl A is 19 years old with a 2-year-old daughter. She's had to leave the path of education to fend for herself and her child, as her boyfriend, whom she started dating at age 15, is not in communication anymore. Girl B is 16 and her baby is just about a month old. She says her boyfriend, who is in his 20s, disappeared after she got pregnant. While the bulk of creating the right environment for personal and national falls on the shoulder of the government, well-meaning individuals and organizations should contribute to it. Operating in Abaranje, clergyman Shola Jai faces this responsibility.
When we got in here, we discovered that a lot of youths in this environment needs attention, and we discovered that the teenagers in this environment, a lot of them, there is no proper care, no proper, guidance in a way, to show them the path of life. And we discovered that there is no point, we have to go all out and reach out to them. Because the first thing we noticed was that the youth, we discovered there is a lot of menace in a way, a lot of crimes around this place. And you see, we can't curb the crime, but in our own little way, we call it Christian social responsibility. In our own little way, there's a way we can channel them, their life, and show them the path on how to move in life. And these are the things we have been doing to make sure that, and by the grace of God, this is reducing crime and is really helping them to move ahead in life, and it's showing them the path on how they will go. Because when they are busy, when their mind is occupied with not about the things, I tell people a lot that, being a pastor, being a Christian is not only to carry the Bible and preach, because Christ came for humanity, and we must be able to reach out to them, come down to their level, understand their needs, and make sure that you are able to meet their needs. Because when you are able to meet their needs, what you are doing, that you are ministering to them. And that's the only way you can get them out of these problems they are facing. Like the issue of teenagers, we discovered that we have to arrange a special class for them. Though we have teenagers class before now, but we have to make it to be more intensive. Well, my wife has to get herself involved in training them, in teaching them, and in talking to them about life. And a lot of them, their eyes open to so many things that they are not even aware of before. And because this is now reducing the issue of teenage pregnancy. I want to talk about our youth. We discovered that some of these youth, they know what to do, but they don't know how to go about it. Some of them, they have read so many books, they've listened to so many things, but all they want is how to go about what they have learned. And one way or the other, we'll be able to, guide them and project them for a better future. And today, we have a lot of them doing well in the society. The parental care is also very important. As you said, you see, number one factor is not some of them. I want to say this. It's not that some of them, it's not that they don't really have parental care. But when someone is growing to a particular level in life, the parents are busy. And a young man of 18, 19, the parents will go to work, and he will be left at home alone. And by the time a young graduate of 21, 22 years old is just roaming about the street doing nothing, before you want to, if that child is not well-rooted, and even if it's well-rooted, it takes the grace of God for that child to stand. And that is why there is need for, there's need for employment. That one is key. There's no doubt about it. Because there's no way how you nurture a child. If a child is not busy, if less busy, say, an idle mind is what? That what they say is what they say is devil's workshop. So when a child is not busy, spirit, soul, and body, there's every tendency for that child to be what? Influenced by what is going on around.
Rural Investment Allowance, which is contained in the Companies Income Tax Act Section 34, seeks to encourage corporate organizations to invest in roads and other infrastructural needs in communities. And this could be the solution much needed in Ofada community, which is in Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State. Roads that have hardly been given any attention. Even without the rains, mud and stagnant water make driving here a rough and bumpy one. This is how majority of the roads in Obafemi Owode local government area, particularly around Ofada, looks like. Obafemi Owode is a local government area in Ogun State. Its headquarters is in the town of Owode. It has an area of over 1,000 kilometers square and a population of almost 230,000, according to the 2006 census. The area has become popular for the production of Ofada rice, a species which has become very common in the southwestern parts of the country. Even parts that have been given attention have only been partially done, leading to heavy usage of one side of the road.
Like the road channels to Bisodu, Elewuru and the Okeko villages are not motorable, even the bike is manageable, which makes the price of the bike increases, and it's very hard for the people in there to go into their villages. And different from that side, from Ofada, like from Owode Ofada to Mowe, the abandoned project there is what is causing incident, because it's only one lane that both motors, the one coming and going, they are passing. So it's causing much incident on that road. So if they can help us to finish the second lane, so it won't be, I think the incident will reduce. What they will have in this place is a police post, which is not supposed to be. The town is bigger than what the station is. So what they should be doing is, if they should have securities going around, I think we will be more safer than what is happening here. Police post is not much. What they have is, even at the police post, they have just like 4 to 5 policemen there. They don't go out. And the touts we have around here are more than what we are expecting. Robbery aspect is not one-on-one, it's not gun-to-gun, it's maybe burglary brokers, like you're not at home, before you come back, they got inside and they'll take some things they want to take, they'll leave the distance. The cultist aspect of it is, majorly is the ones that they've sent away from Lagos side, most of them come down to this place. So the cultist aspect is still fair, not that they are fighting or this thing. If there's any other problem they're having is the land issue, I think, which the government has come into it.
Many have warned that the insecurity faced by residents in rural areas can easily spread to the urban areas, especially because some of these rural settings are situated in the heart of the cities.
All the gates, the doors, the security will not be sufficient to deliver people that are living in gated house when this explodes. Remember, one of the impacts, you need to have domestic workers. And so many people don't even check where they come from. An agent brings them, and then you employ them. They know everything about your house. And you're paying them very little. It's not even enough, because when I want to employ, I ask, where is your house? I'll be the one to calculate. This job is not for you. Get job around this axis, within this perimeter. I've not interested. It's not about that. At the end of the month, you're going to be owing this amount of money. You can't help yourself. You can't help your family. This job is not for you. Okay? These people will carry gun soon. They're already carrying. Because when they are hungry, a time will come in this country that people will not rob you because they want your gold. They're not robbing you because they even want any of your valuables or your cars. They're telling you, I have not eaten. This is the gum. Bring out the food in your house now before I gun down your head. They're just hungry. The impact is also drug abuse. They're frustrated. They're depressed. Something has to make me high. I mean, you don't want to die yet. You just need to go high because this problem is too much. And that's why we have, I'm implementing projects on drug abuse, so I can tell you where we've gone to. So you have people that tell you, oh, they can't afford drug. Believe me, 15 naira in Lagos now, you get some things mixed up or nothing. Nothing I mean is go around the septic tank, leave something, you get a lot of this hard thing, and then you're high. And when you're high, man, you could do and undo. It has gone to that. So you're breeding armed robbers, you're breeding more touts, more area boys.
Accessing some of these suburbs can be difficult. In the case of Obafemi Owode local government area, where most of the almost 300,000 residents, mostly homeowners, live, it leaves an unpleasant experience. The setting is obviously rural, with some of the bare necessities in dire need. One good thing, though, is that crops are planted close by, harvested, cooked, and even eaten fresh. Engaging in commercial farming becomes another kettle of fish because of lack of mechanized tools and access to market. Buildings here are largely mud houses. Hard to believe that this is less than 100 kilometers from the ever-busy Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, which leads to the commercial capital of Nigeria. They lack government presence, no hospitals, roads. They are not even connected to the national grid for electricity. For water, they depend on the rain or a stream in the interior part of the community. This is where clothes are washed. Water is fetched for drinking, cooking, and other domestic uses. The challenge of lack of potable water is not peculiar to Obafemi Owode local government area.
Number one, because they don't have water for basic sanitation, they're exposed to a lot of diarrhea diseases, including cholera. Also, they are also exposed to diseases that are as a result of water shortages, and that's diseases as a result of not having enough water for bathing. We have things like fungal skin infections, we have things like trachoma, we have things like scabies. So these diseases happen when people don't have enough water to bath, to wash their clothes, and when you don't have enough water to wash hands, because one of the very important things that we've noted that can actually break the transmission of many diarrhea diseases, it's just simple hand washing. But when people don't have enough water for even to drink, so washing hand becomes a luxury. So you find out that in those areas, I can bet you that so many children are dying from diarrhea diseases. And it's good for us to know that in the world, diarrhea disease is the second leading cause of death in children under 5. So you can imagine what is happening in that kind of locality where there is no water for even drinking, then talk less of the basic sanitation that we're talking about. So these are the things that can be happening in that community.
That's it for this episode, but you can keep the conversation going if you reach out to us through special reports at channelstv.com or on Twitter. I'm Ini John Mekwa.